life as a YouTuber could actually be perfect. You have fans who love you, you make a lot of money, and some creators don't even have to work very hard for it. Still, there are always YouTubers who jeopardize all of that and completely ruin their reputation and even their careers. We will now show you exactly such YouTubers. Starting directly with Kevin Bongers, better known as Orange. The streamer and YouTuber has been active on the internet for many years and has already built up a larger fan base during this time. While some of the biggest streamers and YouTubers, such as Nosy or Montana Black, still shared gambling content with their viewers back then, the very controversial casino streaming is now not only heavily outlawed but also almost banned. Despite huge criticism, however, Orange still relies heavily on filming itself gambling, and thus risking driving people into dangerous gambling addictions. After he even got into a fight over a ban on dancing because of this, Orange began to draw attention to itself almost exclusively with negative headlines. He sometimes insulted complete strangers on Omegle in his streams, or even published the private home address of the dancing ban. He also brags about expensive cars and houses on the internet, which he financed through very controversial casino deals. And while bad public relations is known to be good public relations, Orange's scandals have done massive damage. Its reach on large platforms is dwindling, and large advertising partners are also increasingly distancing themselves. It continues with a YouTuber who had actually already made the breakthrough and has long been much more than just a YouTuber, namely Shirin David. Shirin left the video platform as far as possible a few years ago and instead built a career in the music business and established several successful private labels. Compared to some of the others on our list, Shirin also still has a wide reach. But the huge hype from back then is quite far away today, and not entirely without fault. Because for almost 2 years now, Shirin has no longer attracted attention musically, but almost only with negative headlines. First, she did advertising for McDonald's and even became a brand ambassador in the fast food chain, although she actually said she was trying to eat vegan, that she was so shocked by the conditions in factory farming. While this action still caused mixed criticism, Shirin David then messed it up with the majority of followers when started wearing real fur in several posts. Her attitude to climate protection also changed 180 degrees when she even gave up her Mercedes-AMG for environmental reasons, but then bought an even more harmful Mercedes SUV and proudly posed with it. All of these actions ultimately led to Shirin losing her image as an authentic rapper who campaigned for goals such as feminism or environmental protection. And now she's feeling the consequences of her actions more and more. The comments on Shirin's Instagram posts consist almost entirely of criticism, and according to reports, some of her own products, such as dirty iced tea, are now being sold for cheap prices. It remains to be seen whether Shirin will be able to build on old successes, at least with her music in the future. Let's move on to a YouTuber who, without exaggeration, could be one of the most successful people on the entire platform, but failed completely. It's about Mr. Beast's brother. Mr. Beast is not only known for being the most subscribed channel in the world, but Jimmy Donaldson, as Mr. Beast is really called, is also very committed to his friends and acquaintances. So many of his childhood friends and even his mother are part of the team of the famous channel. And for a long time, Jimmy also planned that his brother CJ should be similarly successful with his own channel. He not only gave him important tips, but even had part of his team work only for his brother, and also gave him a budget of over $100,000 to really get off to a flying start on YouTube. So CJ had the best possible conditions that you can have on YouTube. But even if the first videos did quite well right away and got several million views, it quickly became apparent that one very crucial thing for CJ's success on YouTube was lacking, and that was passion. He said he really wanted to get rich on YouTube and was even a bit jealous of his brother at times. But viewers noticed from the videos that CJ wasn't as passionate about it as Jimmy himself was. CJ's channel, Mr. Bro, also looked almost like a cheap copy of Mr. Beast's team. Among other things, only Chandler's brother was shown instead of Chandler, or Chris' cousin instead of Chris. As viewers even started making fun of Mr. Bro just seeming like a bad copy of Mr. Beast, CJ decided to give up his channel. And to this day, his channel is considered an impressive example of the fact that success on YouTube requires more than a large budget. Let's continue with a YouTuber who is actually on the way to becoming one of the most successful people in the German YouTube space. And it's about Moise. He has been on the video platform since 2017. At that time, he still started with rap news. But he became really successful when he started producing videos together with other friends and colleagues under Keller jeopardize. Formats like Recognize the Line or Richtig or Forced were not only regularly in the trends, but also made Moise and his own basement label, under which he even sold songs, a major player in the rap scene. But instead of building the hype and the basement fire itself, things took a strange turn at Moise. First, the team began to break up more and more, and Moise was finally alone in front of the camera again. After the views went down a bit, Moise suddenly claimed that he was arrested and could no longer make videos. When he then reported back to YouTube after a while, he sometimes made such a strange, mentally unstable impression on the viewers. He began speaking more and more in phrases and bizarre comparisons, and suddenly cell phone videos of Moise appearing drugged began to surface in public. His content too suddenly changed from rap-related things to videos about a real estate company or street polls in which Moise gave away money at random. When Moise's longtime partner and colleague Maestro recently published a lengthy statement, viewers were given an insight into Moise's personal situation for the first time. As Maestro explained, Keller broke up mainly due to Moise's selfishness since, according to Maestro, the YouTuber did not want to share his earnings. On an even more personal level, Maestro explained in the video also that Moise had increasingly lost touch with reality and accused him of excessive consumption of intoxicants. In addition, Even must have developed a kind of God's complex and sees himself towards his viewers as a kind of omnipotent leader. Maestro's statement led to many former colleagues of the YouTuber also expressing criticism, and Moi's reputation has now reached an all-time low. Finally, we come to a YouTuber that almost everyone in Germany knew at the time. Today his last video has only 2,000 views, and it is about Andre from Requiem. Requiem was the most popular channel in German entertainment in the 2010s, along with Oititi, Alberto, and Kojo. But while the Requiem trio was very successful for a long time, it broke up almost 4 years ago, and there was a very heated argument. The trigger for the end of the comedy trio came from one person, namely Andre. He wanted to concentrate on a solo career and start with his own songs right after Requiem. But the controversial ending, for which many blamed Andre, caused his own career to get off to a bad start. His first own song didn't go over well with the community, and to this day, Andre hasn't really managed to build up a large fan base of his own on the internet either, although he still occasionally publishes his own music projects. So Andre has largely stopped being active on YouTube to be. Even if it was his own career as an influencer is almost over, Andre is still not really unsuccessful. Together with his partner, he set up a company that offers cocoa powder and other foods, among other things, and has a large number of followers on Instagram. That's it for our today video. Which of these developments surprised you the most? And were there YouTubers in this video that you really celebrated at the time? Please let us know in the comment, otherwise, we'll see you next time here on Wikipedia. Have a good one, and see you next time.